There is no doubt that last night, Monday Night Football in Atlanta, the Georgia Dome, was his most shining moment as a professional football player for the New York Jets. I thought he was accurate. I thought he was poised. He clearly did not turn the ball over, which was one of the things, which was the biggest thing against him. He showed leadership. He showed just confidence. They're down 28-27. The first two plays, you take the team 25 yards. Some missed tackles on the part of the Atlanta Falcons, no doubt. A lot of missed tackles by the Atlanta Falcons last night. Their defense wasn't overly impressive, although I was incredibly impressed with O.C. Umenyiora, formerly of the New York Giants, who showed up last night, got a couple of sacks, played the big game. But in the end, I was incredibly pleased with Geno and what I saw. I was incredibly pleased with the play calling on the part of Marty Mornhinweg, the offensive coordinator and the man in charge of running the Jets offense, obviously. I was very, very pleased, Skip, to say the least. And I think that if Geno Smith continues to play this way, the Jets may very well be a playoff team. I can't say enough about the job that Rex Ryan is doing. He deserves a whole bunch of praise. We were quick to criticize him when the things were going south. This man is doing a hell of a job as head coach of this franchise right now. Give credit where credit is due. But if Geno Smith continues to play this way, looking at the AFC conference, I don't think you can rule out the possibility that the Jets could very well end up being a playoff team.
Really?
Yeah.
You sure you're not overreacting?
I'm not overreacting because I didn't say they were going to the playoffs. I said looking at the AFC, it's possible. I can't rule it out.
Okay.
3-2 right now.
I'm going to rule it out, but we'll get to that later.
Eventually, yeah.
I am not going to overreact to all the good things I saw from Geno last night. And everything you said was dead on accurate, as he was dead on accurate all night long. He played beautifully on the Monday night stage. He played cleanly. He played effectively, efficiently, 16-20 for 199 and 0 turnovers after, as you point out, he had been a turnover machine on a record pace through the first games. And Stephen A., just don't forget now, 3 fourth-quarter interceptions at New England, 4 at Tennessee, 11 total going into last night. And yet, last night, I thought, and I did mention this on the air yesterday, I thought the Jets and Geno, in particular, were in a great spot last night, a perfect spot against a team that is on the decline, a team that was feeling huge expectations to live up to preseason expectations of Super Bowl or bust. It felt like that with the Falcons. They were teetering last night, and Geno had low expectations. I don't think you expected that from him. No. From the Jets as a team, as an underdog, decided underdog.
I expected it from their defense. I didn't expect it.
I agree with that. So let's just remember the Geno that we all watch carefully at West Virginia. When things were going great, he was very, very good. When things started to go south, he went south. His body language went south. His leadership went south. Let's be careful. Let's let him taste a little more adversity and see how he responds to it, because I promise you he will have some adversity down this stretch with the Jets, right?
Yeah, but remember what you're saying. Let's be careful. And I think I am being careful by qualifying my statement saying, if this is the Geno Smith we will see in the future, the Jets could very well do X, Y, and Z. The question is if. I mean, the operative word, rather, is if. If Geno will continue. We know what he can do when it goes bad. The question is, can he continue to play like this? In other words, the numbers were not spectacular. It's just that he didn't beat himself. Could he continue to do that?
But remember, Atlanta can't rush the passer except for an occasional flash from O.C., as you pointed out. And last night, Atlanta was playing not to lose on defense, even in the last drive. He just took slant after slant after slant because they were playing so far off the receivers. You can have that, you can have that, you can have that, and all of a sudden, he can have a field goal. He can have the game. Is that how you're going to play Atlanta? We're about to get to the Falcons and what's left of them. But let's also be careful in how we define game-winning drives. Now, Geno leads the National Football League in game-winning drives. What does that mean exactly? Let's think about it. The one against Tampa in the opener, Levante David hits him out of bounds. That game is over, man. It is done. And all of a sudden, that qualifies as a game-winning drive. It was a game-winning penalty by Levante David. Then the game at Buffalo, fairly early in the fourth quarter, Geno goes 69 yards deep to Santonio to put them ahead 27-20. Well, then the Jets defense rose up and thwarted 3 attempts at game-winning drives by E.J. Manuel. So that qualifies as a game-winning drive. It happened with, I think, 9.5 minutes left in the game.
Right.
Do you give it to him? I don't. Last night, that was a game-winning drive. Falcons or no Falcons, that's how you do it.